Let the people hear that voice. Damn,
Alright,
when you
cool.
hear that name.
It was a proud moment for the Asian culture.
I just looked in the mirror and I accepted myself.
Yes. Welcome to Britasia TV's Behind the Music. I'm excited to have on the show someone that's so humble, and even though he's got millions of views, has won countless awards, and he goes by the name of Jernade. How you doing, bro?
What's good, mate? What you saying?
I'm good, bro. Thank you so much for being on the show. I really appreciate your time, man.
Thank you, bro, for getting me on, man. It's such a good and different experience, man, because I do so many interviews, but like I was saying to you yesterday, bro, in the studio, it's different when you're speaking to an artist, man, and getting that perspective, man. So love, man. Oh, love.
Yeah.
Bro.
How's it been for you during lockdown? Like, in terms of, have you been working on music and what you've been up to?
On and off, bro. Like I've been the first part of lockdown. I had probably a week off, and then I was just on it for about 5-6 weeks, man, making bare tunes.
Right.
But like after that, it was one of them ones, man. Like I had time off and I was getting back into it, but it's just I couldn't get into the swing of thing because obviously when you make music, yeah, you make it on the basis of experiences.
Definitely.
So like,
yeah.
I wasn't getting any experiences, so I was struggling a little bit. But now I'm just getting back into the zone, man, and it's been alright. Just kind of moving with it, man.
I actually saw a video of you on Instagram where you're trying to shoot a video in the woods and you fell. I was like, that is so funny. Like, were you actually going for it? Because obviously it was hard, you can't really shoot anything during lockdown. So were you really trying to shoot something for a record, and did you manage to do it in the end?
Yeah. So I did this cover version called Photo and Bear Garm. It's like an old school tune called Bear Garm, yeah?
Right.
And we just went out in the park and just shooting random bits and bobs, man. And when you're doing shoots, you always have moments when you look away from the camera, you're looking away and you're looking towards the camera, that kind of flex.
Right.
I was looking away from the camera. Obviously, there's a massive log, man. So I need tripped up. Well, I saved myself from tripping up, man. So it's blessed, though.
Right.
Blessed.
Oh man. Well, yeah. Bro, you've had an incredible career. You've been in the game for a long time. Where are you at in your life right now? What is your next step? What are you thinking about? Are you working on an album, or because you've done a lot of albums and you've done a lot of singles and stuff? So what's your thinking now? What are you up to?
You know what? Just creating good music, bro. That's been the aim from the beginning. Just making music that I'm enjoying. And I think I got to a phase maybe a few years ago when I wasn't enjoying the process as much. And it's weird because obviously I've realized even more now, whilst being in lockdown as well, when I've had days off and not doing any music, it's my life is revolves around music, so I have to enjoy it. So going back to what I was saying about 2-3 years ago, I wasn't enjoying it as much.
It happens.
So now I'm in a real zone. I want to make records that I'm genuinely gonna enjoy putting out, man, and that's what I've been doing, man, for the past 1.5 years, 2 years, man.
Right. What inspires you when you're writing your songs? Because obviously you're a songwriter.
It depends, man. I did a song last year called "Give It a Song," yeah. Yeah. Year before last, so I released it last year, and that was it was just an emotion that I felt when you're in love with someone, or when you're in a position in your relationship and you don't know how to tell that person how you feel, that's what that word "give it a song" came from. You know what I mean? So I think that's based on my experience. But then the songs Bombay I did with Jernade last.
What dope record, by the way. Well. Yeah, such a dope.
That was just a fun record, It was just the writing process was Aaron paid me a beat. We were in the studio. We felt the vibe. I felt the beat was sick, and we just flowed on the beat. Got the melodies down. Got the lyrics down. Sam helped me pen the lyrics, and that just came like that. So it's one of them ones. Right. Sometimes you get inspiration from actual experiences, but then you sometimes just feel the music and you just go in and just finish the vibe, man.
You're very versatile, where you can do a proper hardcore Punjabi record and then do something like Bombay. Is that? Do you find that easy? Is that something that you because your early stuff was very
Very Punjabi.
Yeah, very Punjabi.
Yeah.
Are you more into the Punjabi side, or would you say that you're, with your new music that I've heard, I feel like you're doing more like kind of mainstream sound, but keeping it Punjabi as well? Like, is that what going forward, is that what you want to do?
You know what it is? I think that's because like it's progression, isn't it? Like, you know, when you're making music for so many years, like you want to see a progression in your sound, and you want to see a progression in you want to learn stuff. And I think the last like the last 10 years I've been just learning, but I'd say my turning point was, in terms of musically, was Teriya, a song I did called Teriya. That kind of changed my perception of how I want to make songs.
You sang in English in that song, right?
Yeah. I sang in English in that as well, and which is the first time I ever sang. Well, the second time I sang in English, that was right. The first time was like a couple of lines for this BBC thing I did called God Only Knows. It was like 27 artists.
Yeah, I want to talk about that as well, because that's an incredible achievement, bro. That's
thank you,
amazing.
Man.
So,
but yeah, Teriya was like the first like proper English lines I sang, which is a bit weird because I'm like, I've never been about singing in English. I've always been like, no, it's just Punjabi. But that kind of opened me up. The God Only Knows thing kind of opened me up to that.
Talking about that, how did that come about? Because there was like Chris Martin, like so many big artists on that. Like, how did that come about?
Yeah, that was sick, man. So it was random, man. It's like, I think, you know, when you work, you build a rep of how you produce records, or even how you are in studios or whatever. And I think I'm kind of building that, trying to build that reputation of when someone's giving me something, I kind of like, I take it on and I annihilate it, or I really mess it up.
Right.
So most of the time it's I take it on and I'm 100%. I try and do 100%. But what happened was with that record, so me and Bangles were finishing off a record called Basina around that period, yeah.
Right.
And I got a call from BBC saying, look, there's a project that we're involved in, the Asian Network is involved in, and we want you to be involved. And I was like, all right, what is it? Like, what's going down in it? And she was like, it's look, I can't give you any information because it's really kind of like private, but Stevie Wonder's part of the record. And I was like,
damn, right, when you hear that name, like, I would automatically be like, oh my god, how am I gonna do this? You know, but that's crazy. She said the name, like,
yeah,
wow.
Just said to be honest, I was like that. So I was like, hang on, I'm singing Punjabi. I don't sing in English. So what am I gonna do? Like, it's weird. And how would it make sense? We'll have to write my Punjabi parts. Like, I just thought, you know what? Sometimes you just gotta throw yourself in the deep end, innit?
Right.
So I just thought, yeah, do it. Let's try it, man. Let's see what happens. And then boom, that's it, bro. We ended up in a studio called Psalm Studios. It's Bob Marley's old house.
Wow.
Wow. So it's like they had a whole setup there. Like I went in, I met the producer Kevin Nelson. His name is. He's produced the Parachutes album for Coldplay. He's a Grammy award-winning like producer. He's dope. He's really dope.
Yeah.
Met him and I was like, so what are we doing? Like, and he was like, do you know what song you do? I said, yeah, you've given me the song. Because they told me it was God Only Knows by Beach Boys. Just learn that line. I was like, all right, cool. So I learned it. I went in. I was like, yeah, I kind of know what I'm doing, but how does a record sound? Who else is on the record? And there was like, Ken was like, I'm just gonna play you the record, and then just you tell me who you're hearing on the record. And bro, the first person was Pharrell. I was like, wow, man, Pharrell's on it. Like, yes. And then Kylie Minogue, and then Chris Martin, and then One Direction, Elton John, Sam Smith. It was just mad. Like, you know, it was mad because whilst he was playing me, he's watching my reaction. Because like, obviously, I was getting gassed, bro. I'm straight. I was naturally like, all these artists on this record, like, it was mad. Yeah. And being a Punjabi artist, it's a real honor, man, because I represent the South Asian community, but in the Punjabi kind of space.
Right. Yeah.
But to be doing something like that and being a record with so many legends, bro.
Wow.
Like, I'll be straight with you, bro. Like, I never ever thought I'd be on the same 3 minutes or 4 minutes as Stevie Wonder, like, let alone like people like Carly and Elton John. Right. And that was like, wow, man, I'm on a soundtrack with Stevie Wonder, man. That was the highlight of the whole thing.
That's like.
And then when I went to record it, bro, it was mad because I walked into the booth and I was like, so who's recorded there? He was like, everyone's Stevie's been here, Rihanna's been here. Obviously it's Bob Marley's old house. I was like, yo, this is crazy, man. It's crazy. And then literally like within 4 hours, we recorded the song, we did a photo shoot and we did a video shoot, and it was done, wrapped in 4 hours, bro.
Wow. That's how quick they work, I guess, when it comes to a record like that, you know? Moving on from that, like that must have kind of like inspired you a lot during that time to work on more music, you know? And do you think at that point when you did that, you maybe felt like, oh, I want to try and do something that's kind of, because obviously with Bombay, I'm going back to that because you have like a mainstream kind of R&B beat, but then you're singing in Punjabi. Do you feel like that might have helped you to kind of, you know,
bro,
to do that kind of music?
Before it's crazy, yeah, because before the God Only Knows thing, I was having like just like R&B and gospel kind of lessons, singing lessons, yeah. I wanted to learn that style of singing, and I was doing it for like 7 months with this lady called Rebecca from Burms, and she was like, "Do you want to sing in English?" I was like, "I don't really want to sing in English. I just want to get the style like underneath me. So if I'm giving a record that demands that kind of like R&B flavor with the Punjabi flavor and the trills, I want to be able to kind of do it."
Right.
And then this came about, and she was like, "It's so crazy that because I was, to be honest with you, bro, like I wasn't as confident in English because I was thinking, nah, it's not me, because you know, like it's like you know a language, but singing in it just felt a little weird. But now like that opened me up to singing Teria and opened up like Give It a Sakesa, like Give It like Bombay as well. Like it just opened it all up, man.
I definitely understand that, because I feel like it's like vice versa. Like for someone like me to sing Punjabi, like I'm always sang in English, and it's like I feel like it's one of the hardest language to sing for me. Like I just, you know, because people can tell when you're singing something, you have to pronounce the words, right? It has to be right. You know. And I remember when I did a song last year, and you helped me with the pronunciation and a couple of words of my song, and I found that difficult, bro. I was like, wow, it's a technique that you have, and I think it's like, you know, definitely like a massive talent of yours that you have, and it's something that, you know, you've always kind of like been out there doing all these songs, and I feel like you have something different within yourself with the songs that you make, you know. You know, like going back to your dad's a musician, right? He was in a band called Sangam, right? How was that? Has that obviously influenced you, right, to be an artist?
Yeah, bro. My background is like, my dad's a massive. He was a massive Bollywood fan. He was a massive Punjabi. Well, more Bollywood than Punjabi, if I'm honest. Yeah. So, and he was in a band. So that whole experience of being around musicians, being around artists and just bands, it was like normal. Like, you know, every weekend, like my dad, like them days, from what I remember, like there wasn't any DJs. It was just mainly live bands doing like private shows. So like every weekend, my dad would be like doing like 4 or 5 shows a weekend, and I'd be like, yo, like, and I'd be going to a couple of shows with him as well. So that obviously inspired me. That inspired me to be like, yo, eventually I want to do this, but I don't know when I'm going to do it. But then I just fell into it, bro. Like my dad just took me to some music, a music teacher called Britasia, and then from there I just started learning, bro, man.
When's like, because when I remember the first time I went in a recording studio, I was 11, and my dad took me. Like, when do you remember the first time you actually stepped into a studio and the mic and everything? Like, do you remember that day that clearly?
Yeah, bro, I remember it, man.
Yeah.
I was in Mumbai. So my uncle is a really massive like music director for Bollywood movies. He's like recorded everybody, bro.
Wow.
Like Lata Mangeshkar, like the greats. He's been with the greats of Bollywood industry. Yeah. And I was learning off his missus, called Jayashree. And around that period, he goes, look, you're singing, learning Indian classical music, but I want you to learn more Hindi, like Bollywood playback singing, but we need to test how you sound on the mic. So towards like, after 6 months of learning from his missus, from Jayashree, he got me in a booth. So I was nervous, bro. Like, he made me learn a song.
Yeah.
He made me learn this one Master Salim song. I don't know, can't remember which song it was.
How old were you then?
I was about 17, bro.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So you must have been scary going in the booth and then...
It's nuts, man. Because like, he's like a perfectionist, bro. Like every little every pitching issue, every issue that you have in your breathing exercises, like, and he's like so perfect. You know, when you record a mic, you record on a mic, I should say, his ear is so tuned. Yeah, he'll tell me like if I've moved my mic placement. So like if I'm like this, for example, even if I'm singing like this, he'll know. So it's nuts. It's like, wow. I was like, and what would happen is when I've gone mushroom, and I come back, he'll be like, you've moved your mic placement. You should be sitting in the same space, and you're moving around when you sing it. You should be like, you shouldn't be doing that because you're gonna lose the impact of when you sing into the mic. It's mad, and I was thinking like, that's not even like it's not even a thing now. Like when I'm singing a record now, I don't really do that now. But then it was like, because he's so used to that old school method. Right. Obviously, it was like, it's one of them ones. Like he was so like particular, man. But yeah, I remember it clearly, bro.
Wow. So you know you're a songwriter and you produce as well, right? Do you produce? You've worked with a lot of people. You know, a lot of producers. Yeah. Do you kind of, when you're in the studio, what's your take on it when you have a producer? Do you put a lot of influence and ideas towards the beat as well as the lyrics, and is it everything?
You know what, before Jernade, I didn't do it, man, because it was weird. I think, you know, the old Punjabi way of making music, right. It was more like you do the composition, you do the lyrics, and you leave it to the music producer, right. But I think in the last 6 years, in the Asian scene as well, it's changed. Like it's more like mainstream now. Like I work more like the mainstream now, I would say. Yeah. And that's simply because most mainstream artists, they have a say in everything. Like the beat, the way the bass line even sounds, the way the synth sounds, the way it's mixed, the way it's mastered. I think now, like when I sit in with producers, bro, I'm in on the whole thing, like everything. Like sometimes. Like when I work with producers, they send me a beat. Like recently, I've been working remotely because of lockdown. Right. It's been vocals, composition, and then send that across, and they make the beat. But still mixing process, I'm still there. But pre-lockdown, it was just in sessions and just working on loads of records with the producer, rather than me just thinking, all right, I'm just gonna do my thing and go away. I think it's important, man, because when you make a record, bro, it's like a baby, innit? Like
absolutely, each project
make it from nothing. You want to see it flourish. You want to see it grow up. You want to make sure it's dressed the right way. You want to see it. You want to make sure it's presented in the way that you see it. And I think that's what I love. I love the process of making music, man. It's sick.
All right, going to like India, like, do you feel like, being a UK, British, Asian artist, do you feel like it was harder for you to break into India in that market, or do you feel like
100%,
it was easy?
100%.
It was harder, yeah?
Now, I'll give you an example, bro, yeah? You know, when I first started, looking for, because I wasn't a songwriter first, I've become a songwriter, a co-songwriter, yeah? So I didn't know the process. Like I was kind of going with the old Punjabi way of making music, which is, you meet a songwriter, he gives you a song, and then you make a composition, and then you work with a producer, right? So when I first started, no one would give me songs when I went to India, bro. Like no one would work with me.
Do you feel like it was because you were like not known, or just? I mean, you got a great voice, and sometimes they listen to your voice and be like, yeah, take my song, because you can sing it.
Bro, it wasn't like that.
Wow.
Well, it became like that after. What happened was, it was more the case of, you're from England, so number one, your pronunciation is going to be terrible in Punjabi, which I locked off years ago because I lived in Punjab. Yeah. Number two, the perception was that a lot of British Punjabi singers can't sing, which was the perception in India, the terrible singers. Wow. So when I met writers, everyone thought I was like, I didn't know anything. So I literally went round to every writer with my harmonium, bruv. Wow. And I was look, I want to get a song off you. And they were like, you're very arrogant as well. A lot of like top writers were so arrogant, bro. I was like, wow, what, where's arrogance coming from? But then I was just like, you know what, just hear me sing, and then decide. So literally, bro, like 30 writers, I was around their houses just singing songs, showing them my voice, how I sing. And then from that is when I got songs, and I'm just like moving forward. But even then after that, I was still a UK singer because I had UK hits. I didn't have international hits or India hits. But then that changed, man. It's changed now.
High Heels was like a monster smash. Like, what a record, man. Do you feel like that was the song that kind of like was the turning point for you in your career?
Bro, it's massive. The first shift in my career was a song called Take It Wally. Like, I'm talking about UK shift. Like, I'll never forget that, because that made me in the UK. That cemented me, or even gave me a identity, like in the whole of the UK, in the Punjabi industry, right? But internationally, bro, it was High Heels, no doubt, no shadow of a doubt, man. That record for me, like, it just opened up a brand new fan base for me. It opened up a brand new vision for me. It just opened up my musical senses as well, because before that I was just making Punjabi stuff. I wasn't making urban stuff.
Right.
But that record just opened up a brand new door, man. Shut down so many barriers, man, and just thought from that I was just carried on moving, man.
How did that song come about? Like, how did the collaboration come about? Was it released like through a major, right? So how was that process? Like, how did that? You made the song, and then did you know?
It was like basically around that period. Honey had loads of records out. Like in Punjab, it was booming in Punjab and Delhi, I would say, yeah. But he wasn't like he wasn't massive like in India. He was just massive like in Punjab and Delhi.
Right.
And I heard his records. There's so many records. And I heard one record he did called Lap 28 by Diljit. Him and Diljit. And I heard that record and I was like, yo, I need to work with this guy. He's a sick producer. Yeah. So I just rang his manager, bro. I just put it on him. I just said, yo, Honey needs to work with me. I think we'll make a banger. And his manager was like, yeah, but we're not really working with a lot of artists, like from Britain as well. Like,
right.
But then it was mad because he called me back saying, yeah, we'll work something out. And then I got a call from Honey. Like, I missed his call, a voicemail. I was singing one of my old songs that I released in like 2008. He's a fan of that song. And then from there we started working, and yeah, man, that's history, man.
Did you have the song ready and then you played it to him, or did you actually get in the studio and work on the song?
We actually got in the studio and we made three joints,
Right.
Which none of them made the cut.
Wow.
And then I came back to England for 6 months thinking, nah, man, I was like, I've just wasted that time. I should have just taken that song. Right. But little did I know, bro, like I was gonna get something in my inbox like about 6 months later.
Yeah.
And it won, man. It's like he gave me his assistant around then. He rang me. He was like, "I've got this song. What do you think of it?" And I was like, initially, I was like, it's a bit of it's taken. The melody's taken from an old school like Bollywood song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Very catchy. Yeah.
I was like, it's taken from that, but it's catchy. I think we should do it. And then I sent him my vocals and we just got it done, man. Just sick.
Yeah. Would you say that was one of the highlights of your career then, or is there something else that you feel like there's been a massive highlight?
It's definitely one of the highlights.
Yeah.
The highlight of my career, bro, I'll be straight with you, was probably God Only Knows. Like, it's probably one of the highlights. Definitely one of the highlights, man. Yeah. Like, that's like that moment right there. It's for me, it's like solidified. Like, as in, for me, it's like one of the greatest moments because of who's involved in the project. Absolutely, you know what I mean? Yeah. Even though it's got no significance to like Punjabi music, it's still significant in terms of who I'm on a record with. That was a massive deal.
Being a British Asian as well, that's such a that's levels, like, you know, like to be able to be on the record with those legendary artists and, you know, big names as well, like Rihanna and like, you know, all these people that are really like out there. Yeah. Such an achievement.
Yeah.
There's this massive interest in India now. Like, you see Spotify just starting up there. Like, you know, it's kind of bleeding out to the mainstream. What do you think of all that? Do you feel like it's going to be as big as the Spanish movement?
To be honest, bro, I think the Punjabi scene is going to have its moment. And we had a moment in 2004, was it when Punjabi MC had that song?
Yeah.
But I think we're going to have a proper moment, like, as in, it's going to be a global sound, because like, look at Afro music, bro. Like Afro music globally, it wasn't recognized like it is now. And it's because
they have it on the charts now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of the highest charted like music, if you think about it internationally. Like in Britain, everyone's loving, even Canada, bro, and States, everyone's loving the Afro sound. And I think it's just because it makes you feel good. and that's what Spanish and Latino music's done as well. And I think Punjabi music is the same. It just makes you feel good, man. So I definitely think it's gonna have its wave, man.
Would you try doing Punjabi on a Afro kind of beat? Would you do that kind of music?
On my Afro beat?
On an Afro beat, yeah.
I've actually made a record, man, Afro beat record recently.
Have you?
Yeah. I haven't released it yet.
Oh, I was gonna say, I didn't hear that. Oh, yeah. You should drop that. You should. It's different.
Yeah, hopefully I'll probably drop it next year now, because I've got a couple of records that I'm dropping real soon, actually.
Could you give us a little exclusive? Putting you on the spot there. I know you were up till late last night. I mean, no pressure, bro. But I know you can sing live. Like, you have an incredible voice, bro.
Yeah, man. Kade kade chete aunda ya o zindagi mein kita jehda pehla pyar mil diye mainu jo bhi hai saza eta hi kasoor mera ya.
Yes! Thank you, bro. Wow, because you can sing live, man. Like, I feel like, going back to the perceptions, some people think Asian artists always have auto-tune or they can't really sing. But, I think that when you can sing live, I think it's always good that you do that as well,
Of course, man.
Yeah.
It's gotta be done, man. Like, I think as a singer, you need to have that, bro. Like, singing live is what if singing is what you do this for, you know what I mean? Like, you can't be an artist and not perform live or sing live when you give them the chance.
Yeah, definitely. And like, in terms of collaborations, obviously you've worked with so many people. Is there someone that you got your eye on? Like, actually, I want to work with this person. That might work. Because I know you work like naturally. Like, you like to have a collaboration that just feels right. But is there someone that you've heard like and you thought about maybe they could work on a record with me?
In the Asian scene?
Asian or mainstream, like whatever you feeling. Because I know you listen to all kind of music. So.
You know what? It sounds really cliche, yeah. But I just feel like I'd love to collaborate with someone like, and it sounds, and I know everyone think, oh, it's going to be that person, but it's someone like Drake, bro. And I know it sounds mad.
I can hear you with Drake, bro. I swear, I actually had I thought you were going to say Drake. I can hear you.
Yeah, everyone's probably saying that as well. I mean, in terms of any Punjabi artist is saying Drake, and it's simply because it's not the fact that I want to work with him and blow. It's not even that, to another level. It's more a fact that it's I want the scene to progress to that level. Like, he's taken the UK rap scene to another level. It was already massive anyway, but it's the cosign it helped it progress and get recognized a little quicker than what it was going to happen. And I think I want that for the Punjabi scene, bro, because I still feel like internationally, even though it's massive in India and we have a massive Punjabi listening crowd, internationally, I just feel like we're still slept on. And I think when someone does a credible collaboration, with someone like Drake, I think that is going to take it to another level.
Definitely. So Drake, if you're listening, hit up Jazz and let's make it happen. It'll be a special track. So what's next for you then? Like, you mentioned the Afro track. When's that coming out? Have you got like what you're working on? Like, have you got a tour coming up next year when maybe this whole pandemic is over? What's your plans for the future?
I've got a cool record with like this artist called Karan Ojla. He's dope.
Nice.
Dropping that this year as well. And then Sama Blake. There's so many records, man, that I've made.
You're busy.
That I'm gonna start dropping. I've got like 4 videos shot ready, man. I'm gonna start dropping them, man.
That's what I love about you as an artist, bro. You're so consistent. When you do, you put everything into it, and you can really tell, like, from artist to artist, I can really see that you, when you do like your music, you put everything out, and you have a great manager behind you, or it's you, bro. Like, you're doing your thing, and it's like, it's amazing to see that, and I wish you all the success, and hopefully you do even bigger things, and you've actually done something for the scene with that record, God Only Knows, with the legendary artists. Not many people can say they've done that, so well done to you, bro, for making that happen, man.
Respect, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to your music, bro, because I know you got some records cooking, man.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a couple of singles coming out, and you know, watching you as well, like releasing music is inspiring me to drop my stuff, you know, and we're working with a couple of the same producers as well. So yeah, man.
Yeah, Amma, Bob.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
dope,
we
man.
We
Hopefully
definitely.
we'll get in, man. We'll
Yeah,
get in, man.
100%.
We'll do a session as well, man.
Yeah, it'll be nice. It'll be different for us to work. Yeah, I'm excited for that. Yeah.
Respect,
but thanks
man.
again for coming on the show, bro. I really appreciate you being here and just explaining your story and just giving us a sneak behind the music, really. So thank you so much, bro. All right.
Man.
Take it easy,
man.
bro.
Peace out, man.
Take it there.
Peace out,
Bye.
man. Thank you, man. Respect.
Let the people hear that voice. Damn,
right,
when you hear that name.
It was a proud moment for the Asian culture.
I just looked in the mirror and I accepted myself.
Yes.
Wait.